Welcome, Scorpio, to your Starspoken Oracle reading for the week of July 22nd to July 28th, 2026. This week, we dive deep beneath the surface to confront the shadows that bind and beckon you, an intense journey illuminated by the Devil card. Prepare to meet the parts of yourself that are often hidden, the chains of habit, desire, and attachment that simultaneously empower and limit you. This is a week for discerning what you truly serve and where you might be serving illusions. Let's begin by tuning into the cosmic weather that sets the stage for this transformation. On July 22nd, the Sun moves into Leo, lighting up your 10th house of career, reputation, and public standing. The spotlight is on how you present yourself to the world and the authority you wield. This heat from Leo stirs ambition but also tempts you to define your worth by external achievements or social validation. 2 days later, on July 23rd, Mercury stations direct in Cancer, stationed in your 9th house of beliefs, philosophies, and long-distance perspectives. While clarity returns gradually rather than instantly, this shift encourages you to rethink what you believe about freedom, control, and your boundaries. The mental fog lifts, but it will take time to discern truth from story. Then, on July 26th, 2 significant stations, Saturn turns retrograde in Aries, your 6th house of daily routines, health, and service, and the true North Node retrograde enters Aquarius, your 4th house of home, roots, and emotional foundation. Saturn's retrograde invites a review of your inner discipline and how your everyday habits serve or enslave you. Meanwhile, the North Node in Aquarius steers your growth inward, toward authentic belonging and emotional liberation. Together, these astrological currents frame this week's tarot theme, the Devil. Let's reveal what this card means for you now. The Devil card in the tarot is a powerful symbol of bondage and temptation, but also of awareness and choice. It often triggers fear because it exposes the chains we cling to, whether addictions, toxic relationships, limiting beliefs, or self-destructive patterns. Yet hidden in its dark imagery is the key: the chains are loose, the bindings can be removed. The Devil invites you into a profound confrontation with the parts of yourself you might have disowned or ignored. For Scorpio, associated with Pluto in modern astrology and traditionally ruled by Mars, this card resonates deeply with themes of power, desire, confrontation, and transformation. It's a call to reclaim your sovereignty by recognizing where you've outsourced your power or surrendered it out of fear or desire. This week's reading is not about denying the allure or the reality of your attachments but about understanding their true cost. Let's explore how this plays out across different areas of your life. In love, the Devil asks you to examine patterns of dependency and control. Are you or your partner caught in cycles that feel addictive but ultimately confining? This might be emotional codependency, obsessive jealousy, or clinging to relationships that no longer serve your growth. The energy is magnetic but potentially suffocating. This week, Scorpio, awareness is your tool, not avoidance, not denial. Look honestly at where love feels binding rather than liberating, and ask yourself, what parts of my love life are fueled by fear or illusion rather than mutual respect and freedom? At work, with the Sun in your 10th house, ambition burns bright. The Devil card signals the temptation to compromise your integrity or get trapped in manipulative power dynamics to climb higher. It warns against working in environments that exploit or dehumanize you, even if the rewards seem tempting. Are you sacrificing your authentic self for status or security? This week challenges you to identify any work-related devils that demand your submission and to plot a path toward reclaiming your autonomy. Regarding money, the devil's grip may manifest as compulsive spending, debt, or financial arrangements that feel like traps. The sixth house Saturn retrograde invites you to reassess how disciplined and conscious you are with your resources. Are your financial choices supporting your freedom, or are they binding you to stress and limitation? This week is an opportunity for radical honesty about your relationship to money and the power it holds over you. In health and energy, the sixth house Saturn retrograde shines a spotlight on your routines and how they either nurture or drain you. The Devil card can symbolize addictive behaviors or habits that undermine your well-being, whether overindulgence, neglect, or self-sabotage. Pay attention to your body's signals. What patterns are you clinging to that no longer serve your vitality? There is transformative power in recognizing your self-imposed chains and beginning the process of breaking free. Now, let's move through your week day by day to see how these themes might unfold. Wednesday, July 22nd, the Sun enters Leo, energizing your 10th house. You may feel a surge of ambition and a desire for recognition, but the shadow of the devil warns against letting pride or ego blind you to unhealthy dynamics at work or in your public life. Stay grounded and observe any temptations to overreach or manipulate. Thursday, July 23rd, Mercury stations direct in Cancer in your 9th house. Mental clarity begins to return, especially regarding your beliefs and long-term goals. Use this day to reflect on how your worldview may have been influenced by fear or control. Begin to rewrite the narratives that keep you tethered unnecessarily. Friday, July 24th, emotional intensity runs high as you sense the chains that bind your heart. Resist the urge to cling or act impulsively in relationships. Instead, journal or meditate on where love feels freeing versus where it feels like a trap. Saturday, July 25th, Saturn's approaching retrograde invites you to slow down and evaluate your daily habits. Notice any compulsions or rigid routines that might be masking deeper fears or insecurities. Sunday, July 26th, Saturn stations retrograde in your 6th house of health and service, and the North Node retrograde enters your 4th house. This is a pivotal day for internal work. Turn your attention to home, family, and emotional foundations. Are you living authentically or under inherited expectations and unresolved fears? Begin to envision a new way of belonging rooted in freedom rather than obligation. Monday, July 27th. Use today to observe how the patterns highlighted by the devil show up in ordinary choices. Watch for power struggles, compulsive reactions, or moments when fear tries to make a decision for you. Practice mindfulness around your reactions and desires. This is a day to reclaim your power by refusing to feed the shadows. Tuesday, July 28th. With the Sun now fully in Leo and Mercury moving forward, a new clarity emerges. You can begin to see the chains in your life more clearly, and the possibility of breaking them. Use this day for strategic planning and setting intentions for liberation. To deepen this week's work, consider these journal prompts. 1. What are the chains in my life, habits, beliefs, relationships, that feel both familiar and confining? How do I participate in keeping them intact? 2. In what ways do fear and desire influence my decisions, especially around love, work, and money? Where can I choose freedom over control? 3. What would it feel like to claim my power fully, even if that means facing discomfort or uncertainty? What is the first step toward that freedom? Your weekly guidance centers on a transformative exercise uniquely tailored for Scorpio facing the Devil's Challenge. Each evening this week, carve out 15 minutes for a shadow inventory. Light a candle and write down any moments from the day when you felt pulled by temptation, fear, or compulsion. Be brutally honest, no judgment. Then, beside each moment, write a question that invites curiosity rather than shame. For example, why do I feel I need control here? Or what fear underlies this desire? After a few days, review your notes. Identify patterns and subtle change you may have overlooked. Then choose one small chain to deliberately loosen next week, a habit, a thought pattern, or a situation where you can say no to the devil's whisper and yes to your true sovereignty. This practice is not about quick fixes but about cultivating awareness and agency, the essential alchemy for Scorpio's deep transformation. As you move through this week, remember, the Devil card is not your enemy. It is a guide pointing to where your power lies hidden behind the veil of shadow and discomfort. Your task is to meet it with courage and curiosity, dismantling the illusions that bind you so you can step into a more authentic, liberated version of yourself. Your affirmation for this week is: I am the master of my desires. I choose freedom over fear. Carry that with you through July 28th. Subscribe so your next weekly reading is waiting for you. Trust the timing. The stars have spoken.